We're going to do a live version of Inside Gaming here in a
Doing it
second.
now?
Or just in a second, yeah.
Jesus.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okay, you want to do it?
Okay, let's
You
do
want
it.
to just do the whole intro and everything?
Yes, that's
All right,
the
cool.
whole intro, just like the show.
Gotcha, cool. Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming Tuesday. Hey!
Woo! Yeah, we need some claps.
Somebody clap.
Nobody clapping. APL, clap for us.
No one is enthusiastic.
Nobody's. It's Tuesday.
It's E3, people.
I got it.
There we go. There
I
we
look
go.
like a-
Thank
okay.
you, APL.
All right,
Jeez,
you got it?
all right. It's Tuesday.
He's our biggest fan. I love him. All right, let's get to it. Let's recap all the press conferences that have happened. First off, we're going to start off with Nintendo.
Yep.
Because they just had theirs this morning. We'll quickly go through it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start with me.
Yeah. So you got Super Smash Brothers is coming in 2014 on the 3DS and the Wii U.
Mega Man is in the game.
Wonderful 101, the successor to Beautiful Joe, is coming in 2013.
Wind Waker HD coming out in October 2013.
And there's
Great
also the
news.
new mech game you were really excited about, Monolith. Monolith is like, would you say it's like Monster Hunter with space?
Sure.
That's what?
Let's just do that.
That's what you said.
It's from the Xenogear guys. I'm happy. Also got Mario Kart 8. That's coming 2014. A lot of 2014 games for Wii. That's sad.
Yes.
Because I own a Wii U and I want games. And finally, we got Mario 3D World. One of the coolest looking games ever. We got Cat Mario.
What?
I know.
That's weird. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the Xbox press conference. It looks
right.
like we're seeing some footage right now of Metal Gear Solid 5, which
Right.
is what they opened up with Microsoft, up with open world.
Red Dead Solid.
Entirely
Holy
open
crap.
world, which is really cool. And then we
That's
also,
really
World of Tanks on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
All right.
then go ahead.
All right, they moved over to the next game, Project Spark, which is we just learned is a free-to-play.
Yeah.
Essentially Microsoft's version of Little Big Planet, I would say.
Right, it's all supported by microtransactions
Yeah.
and DLC.
It was a little confusing, but I liked what I saw.
Please take Killer Instinct. You were excited about it.
Killer Instinct came out of nowhere and
Yes.
surprised a bunch of people. We did find out as well that it is a free-to-play game.
Yeah,
which I don't think has really worked in a fighter before.
Well, let's try it.
Well, we'll see how it works later this year.
Yeah, Jago's actually free, then you have to buy all the other characters. So,
Sure.
yeah, why not? And
All
then there's Dead Rising 3, which looked way better than the other two Dead Rising.
One of these
but-
supposed leaked games.
I
and
was
it was actually there.
Yeah, no, I was very excited about Dead Rising 3, and then you got to talk about
This one confused us a little bit. Halo 5, Halo?
We thought it was, what did we think? Prince of Persia at first, and then we thought it was Destiny.
Yeah,
and
we
then
see
were-
the chief has a cloak for some reason over his masculine armor.
Yeah.
Correct visor. A lot of interesting questions I have for 343 that we're probably not going to get for a while.
No, it's going to be a long
But
time.
new
Yeah.
Halo was announced, and that was pretty excited for the Xbox One.
Yep, and then Titanfall. Titanfall, in my opinion, so far has been the game of the show.
It has,
this multiplayer demo that we saw at the Xbox press conference was fucking awesome.
He ejected from the robot, he landed on the robot, and then he shot the robot in the brain.
In the brain.
It's pretty
I saw
fantastic.
That,
And some quick notes about the conference. There will be no more Microsoft points.
so,
We're not calling them
which is
Xbox.
good. That's good, I think.
And they announced the price, $4.99.
Yes.
But for the rest of the world, it's a bit more pricey. We're going to get to that later when we talk about Sony.
When
but
we
let's move
argue about
over
it.
to EA
Okay.
and what they showed during that day. First up, it was the PvZ, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Garden Warfare.
It's going to be hard to say that.
I thought it was kind of, it was fun that they tried to cut it like a Battlefield 4 trailer, and that was cool. But apparently it's the third-person wave shooter, third-person horde shooter. Is that what's going on?
I missed that part. I came in late, but I did come in there just in time for Battlefront.
We've been predicting it for months. We've been talking about Battlefront for months,
people.
and we did it.
Let's all be happy
We
about
talked about
this.
Star Wars Battlefront, and we willed it into an existence.
We did. You guys did it. Thank you so much.
And then there's the Dragon Age Inquisition teaser trailer, which looked cool. Obviously no gameplay, but people are excited about Dragon Age, right?
I'll take it. And then there was a demo for the Battlefield 4 64-man player game, which was ridiculous.
I was just shaking my head the entire time.
It blew my mind with that building falling, going into the elevator with, oh my God.
I just can't wait. I can't wait to play this game.
I had a fun time. And then, in my opinion, stole the show, Mirror's Edge. Not Mirror's Edge 2. It's an origin story.
Oh, okay, so it's a prequel.
And they basically said in the title, when it's done.
All right. And so we have no release date, nothing.
Sounds like a fun side project for DICE, but it's happening.
Good for them. Good for
It
them.
looked gorgeous.
And we'll move on to the Sony press conference.
All right.
This is and I guess in everybody's opinion so far, Sony's won the show, right?
Yeah, and we're going to tell you why.
In just a second. So first of all, they started off with the indie games showcase. We saw Transistor. We saw a bunch of other indie games. You've been talking a lot that Sony's actually trying to get developers on board a lot more than Microsoft is.
The word on the floor is developers love Sony, and duh.
Right.
Yeah, and then they actually revealed the console, which actually looks a lot like the Xbox.
That's cool.
A little bit, but it's a bit more italicized.
Sure, why
it's at a
not?
slant. Look great.
No, I liked it a lot. And then we also found out that used games work just like any other used games you're used to. And they made a short little 20-second video that was kind of funny.
Yep, clearly going after Xbox on this one with all their policies
Yeah.
of how DRM works, all this. Interesting to see how Microsoft will respond to this.
Sure.
But Sony definitely is going on the offensive right now.
Right, and then there's Kingdom Hearts 3. You called it for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why you
Hey.
predicted Kingdom Hearts 3, but you did.
It's been a long time coming, kids. We got it.
And then why don't you explain Final Fantasy, all the numbers, because I'm lost in Final Fantasy.
This was many E3s ago.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy Versus 13 were announced at the same time. Versus 13 being produced by, I'm going to mess up his name, Nomura, who worked on Final Fantasy 7,
Oh, right, okay.
Kingdom Hearts, working on this new game. They basically announced it is still in existence, it is a thing, and has now been called Final Fantasy 15.
So Versus 13 is now 15.
It's happening. It's a PS4 game.
Whatever, right. And
Very
there's
happy.
Elder Scrolls Online, which is actually going to be first on the PlayStation 4, which is surprising.
That's a huge deal.
But we got to see a lot more gameplay from Elder Scrolls, which I was really excited about.
And then they did the Destiny demo, which we're going to be seeing here in a second.
Yes, the gameplay.
Pretty damn cool. Very much reminded me of Borderlands, which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
It's a Borderlands made by Bungie, and that's freaking sweet.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. And then we also got another price, which I was very surprised about for the PS4. $399.
$100 cheaper than the Xbox.
$399, way more in the rest of the world, but again, $399, $400 for the in US.
Yeah, and one quick note, it was kind of, you couldn't really hear it over all the screaming.
Yeah.
But if you want to play multiplayer games online, you need PlayStation Plus now.
So you have to pay, what is it, like $5, $4, $5
It's
a
like
month?
$50 a year.
Yeah.
But just a heads up, when you want to play Call of Duty on your PlayStation 4 this holiday,
Right.
you need PlayStation Plus.
All right, so now is the time where we actually debate, because we've been talking a lot about who's winning the show right now, and the general consensus online is that Sony has already won E3. And you and we at first, I think our impression was yes, that Sony won the show, but the more we think about it, the more we're kind of like, I wonder what Microsoft, is Microsoft being more candid with everybody and therefore helping us? So
I say you look at it two different ways. This is a gaming show. It is about games. It is about the gamers. If you want to look at it that perspective, Sony killed it. They won it. They went after the audience who is here, what they want to see. Microsoft is clearly going for a much bigger audience, and they're not probably doing the best job of PR.
Not at all.
Sony killed it in the PR front.
Yeah.
They said everything we wanted to hear. They're doing everything that we wanted. They did it. Microsoft's probably doing what they think is in our best interests.
Sure.
Which maybe they're wrong, maybe they're right. We won't know.
They're kind of like an overbearing parent.
Yes.
You know, they're like, well, this is going to be good for you, and we don't know that yet because we've not, they're not bought. Consoles are not out there in the wild.
I will say that because of what Sony did here today, it is definitely putting Microsoft on the defense.
Yes.
And they're going to have to do some crazy stuff this holiday if they really want to win the gaming audience over.
Definitely.
But right now, Sony just murdered them. And then they kicked them when they were on the ground.
I know, with the
and
used
they
games
stomped
video.
their face in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Lawrence made a really good point that every console has had to win the gamers before they've won the public opinion.
Very true.
And right now, Sony's ahead. Sony's ahead. So, and another really interesting point that you talked about PlayStation Plus is that the Xbox One comes with Kinect. It comes with the Kinect, and you get those 2 free games on Xbox Live Gold and all that other stuff, whereas Sony PS4 does not.
Correct.
So if
and now that if you do want to play online, you'd have to pay that additional fee. So now kind of the pluses and minuses are starting to even out a little bit.
Right.
Pending all the DRM talk,
Yes,
how digital games work, you can sign into an account. I'm hoping it works like Steam, because obviously you don't want a world where if your internet connection goes out, you can't play the single player portion of Titanfall.
Yes.
That's going to be a horrible world.
No, it really is, and it's one of those things that we just kind of, like you said, we have to wait till the consoles are in the wild, find out how this whole thing is fleshing up. For now, Sony's ahead.
Well, of course, this is E3. It's theory.
Yeah.
If you want to put out there of what this theoretical life can be this holiday, Sony took it. It's fine. But I will say, actually, the real winner, honestly, I don't think it was Sony. I think it was the publishers. It was a mix of Square Enix announcing Kingdom Hearts 3, DICE putting out Mirror's Edge, Battlefront getting announced, EA just killing it with the games that they were showing. It was the games.
Yeah.
And most of those are going to be multi-platform.
Definitely.
Which is really good. So regardless of your console of choice of this console war, you're going to get some really good games.
Well, speaking of
really
games,
soon.
we got to go watch COD Ghosts with Sark. Please show us the game already. Jeez.